Hello, everybody. My name is Paul Woods, and I am 17 years old. I am making this video because of something that I wasn't able to do personally in front of everybody else in person. On October 25th, 2014, at 11 a.m., we had a memorial service for my grandmother, and I personally was not able to get up in front of everyone and speak due to being afraid of breaking down and not knowing what to say. And right now, with this, I am, I guess this is my final words about my grandmother. Um, but before I talk about my grandmother, there is a poem by Linda Ellis that I'd like to quote called or titled "The Dash." I read of a man who stood to speak at a funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on the tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that first came the date of birth and spoke the following date with tears, but he said that what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For that dash represents all the time that they had spent alive on earth, and now only those who love them know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. If we could just slow down enough to consider what's true and real, and always try to understand the way other people feel, and be less quick to anger and show appreciation more, and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogy is being read with your life's action to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say and how you spent your dash? And I say my grandma would, and she'd be proud of how she spent the dash. Um, my grandmother died at the age of 79, born on May 5th, 1935, and passing on October 1st, 2014 at 1:25 a.m. There's not much that I can say about my grandma that everybody who knew her personally doesn't already know. My grandma had a loving heart. She cared and loved everyone and did everything she could for anyone she could. Uh, she was one of the most everybody around her loved her, and I'm trying not to cry, but her life to me was more than just a grandmother. My mother left when I was 5 years old, and from then on, my grandmother stepped in and helped my father raise me, and my grandmother was like my mom, and shoot, I don't know what I would have done if it wasn't for having my grandmother in my life. And I love my grandmother more than anything in this world. She means absolutely everything to me, and I don't know what I'd done without her. from working at a little snack parlor down in one of the casinos to working at my elementary school when I was in elementary school in the cafeteria helping with lunches. Everywhere she was, she infected someone. She could always get people to smile, and she's just in my eyes she was a saint. Um, my grandma is my grandma was the strongest and bravest and most amazing person in the world I knew and I looked up to more than anyone else. And I know, and I'm not crying because I wish she was still here. I'm crying because I her time was cut short, I guess. But as it was quoted at her memorial, my grandmother was an amazing Christian lady, and she did everything for God. Everything that she did was to the glory of God, and she did everything with the intentions of good. For I have no doubt in my mind that my grandmother is right now in heaven with God, and she's out of pain and out of suffering, and she's in a better place. Grandma, I love you. I know that you're pretty. Rest in peace, Grandma. And I know most of you may not know who I am or know who she was, but every I, I wish everyone had a chance to know who she was. And this is my grandmother. Yeah. She's an amazing. She was the most amazing person in the world. I love you, Grandma. Rest in peace.